Well, I had hoped that I'd have the steering linkage thing done today, but it's turned out to be quite a complicated little piece. I want this connection between the knuckle and the top to happen out the back here, so that it's not protruding out the front, but that means I have to contend with this big piece of wood here, which I don't want to cut away. And so this is what I've come up with. This is just a prototype, but I think you get the idea. And then there'll be a link between here and a little lever arm on there. And that's how it'll steer. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Look at this. I've just finished building these new steering knuckle tops, and I've just slid this on, and there you go. That's not how it's going to work, but primitive steering behavior has been achieved. Oh yes. Oh yes indeed. Here's the, all I've got to do is get this bit from computer simulation to reality. And this is so close to being together. The steering is officially, more or less, pretty much, except for a few little things, complete. Alrighty, steering test Mark 1. Let's do it. Well, it was all looking good when it was on the table, but now that it's on the floor, it's a bit sloppy. For one thing, I haven't fixed the wheels on properly, but because this is not properly attached to the arm, because this is not bolted down right, because these have a bit of play, and I think this bearing could be seated a bit tighter, means that the whole thing has quite a lot of play. And that, you know, I mean, it works, but it's no good. It does steer though. If I give it a push with a bit of a wobble, it's going round in a circle. Not really. Oh well. So I fixed a bunch of the problems, I think. Brought these two points much closer together on the lever arm, because that seems to get better results when I use my designer software. And instead of having these way out here, I've just brought them in this way a bit. So they're still sort of angled in a bit to get the good steering geometry, but much less now. And that should improve the performance of this linkage when we're at the extremes of the steering. We shouldn't get so much wobble. So let's give it a go. See, the center of the turning circle would be somewhere around about here, I think, theoretically. In reality it might be much further out. So just a closer look at what I've got going here. This is what's limiting it. This ball, the original windscreen wiper ball, is interfering with this linkage, so I can't go any further than that for this test. So I'll have to do something special here to avoid this ball, or maybe just remove the ball because I don't want to use it. Alright, well, that's it for this weekend. It's stowed away in a corner over here. It's working a lot better. I've been using the same geometry, with these 2 points a centimeter apart. Gonna need to come up with something special to make these linkages work, because there's just not enough material in there to be strong enough. So I'll have to come up with something there, but you can see that I've replaced the original servo arm with a piece of aluminium. Hopefully that'll be strong enough. But that works really well, and everything seems to do the business, and all the angles look good to me. When I give it a shove on the ground, it turns. It's pretty good. Happy with it. Anyway, I will see you next week.